Hi, I'm Donna Miller. I'm going to show you how to make a unique squirrel birthday card. So if you like this video, please consider clicking and subscribing. Don't forget to hit that bell to get notified of future videos so that you don't miss out on anything. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the background, and I'm using a light blue acrylic paint, and I'm going to also use a white acrylic paint. I got both of these paints from Walmart and they have a really good price on them. They were 50 cents for two. So using the flat brush, you just want to mix the light blue and the white together. Use small brush strokes and go back and forth on your paper. This is a completely dry technique. I have not used any water at all. As you get closer to the bottom where the sky needs to end, just use the side of your brush and draw kind of like a V shape to get your mountain peaks to go right there. Then you just want to fill in the gaps with small, even brush strokes. To start on our hill, I'm going to use a dark green, a light green, and I'm also using white. I'm going to mix those colors together using a small round brush. Once you have those mixed together, then you're going to follow your hill from the sky and just draw it down to the edge of the paper. I'm going to focus on the hill on the right, and I want it to be a darker colored green. So I'm mostly using the darker shade of green with the white color, and I'm just going back and forth. I'm going to also use some water to mix in to try to get it to blend a little bit better as I'm working on this side of the mountain. I really want the farthest right part to be a little bit lighter shade of green, so that's why I'm leaving that area open for the last here, and I'm going to mix more of the lighter shade of green once I hit that part right there, just to try to give it a little bit of highlight for the sun. Now moving on to the foreground, which is the hill on the left, you want to mostly use the light green and the white. This will give it more of a 3D effect, that this one is in the foreground and the darker hill on the right side is in the more of the background. And I just like the more 3D effect that I get with that. So I mostly just use the light green and the white and I mix them together. And I use water to get them to blend so you can't see the brush strokes quite as much. I'm also not really worried too much if you do see the brush strokes because it is grass and grass does have a lot of texture. And I like sometimes that texture shows through. So just fill the rest of the left side of your hill until it is completely covered, and then you will be finished with your background. The image for this card comes from Miss Kate Cuttables. You can find this in Cricut Design Space, or you can go directly to her website. It is always cheaper to purchase her images from her website than it is from Cricut Design Space. So I'm using these acorns to look like they are balloons, and I'm just taping a piece of string on the back of the acorns. If I had to do this over again, I would definitely use a thinner string and not something quite so thick on this. The sentiment for this card was written directly with the Cricut. I like using the Cricut to write my sentiments when I don't have a stamp that says what I want it to say. To glue the acorn balloons onto the base of the card, I'm using art glitter glue to glue these down. Because the string is kind of in the way, it's a little bit off kilter when you put it on the card, but if you just hold it down and give it some pressure, it will stick and you won't have any problems with it. So I have my squirrel on foam tape, and I'm going to take the backing off and adhere him to the card base. I want it to look like he's carrying the balloons to a party, so I'm going to put art glitter glue in his hand and a little bit on the background to glue the strings to the base of the card. I want to go ahead and cut the base of the strings off so it looks like they're all about even lengths. Now all I'll have left to do is to glue this down to my card base. So if you like learning about cards and you like learning about Inkscape and Cricut Design Space or Brother Scan & Cut, please consider clicking and subscribing. Don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out on anything.